Well, hello. Hello, my beautiful, beautiful, sensitive, fellow sensitive people. It is me, Whimsy, your favorite whimsical oracle. And I'm here in beautiful Puerto Vallarta. And I am sleeping a lot. My apologies for missing brunch on Sunday. Perhaps some of you were wondering where moi had gone to. Um, yes, I am in beautiful Puerto Vallarta, and maybe after the stream we can show you some of the beauty of this amazing part of the world. So I thought I would come online and I would do some tarot blitzes. For those people who don't know what a tarot card blitz is, it's 4 cards. It usually takes about 5 minutes. And we just blitz. We just try and get through as many questions as possible. In the past, we have talked about something called game theory, and we've talked about how you come up with a thesis or a theory about how events should unfold because you've put equations through supercomputers, you've analyzed it from multiple angles, and then you come up with a really good idea of how you think things are going to unfold. And sometimes you get it right, and sometimes you get it wrong. And one of the things we've talked about is we've talked about the fact that when you do game theory and you're asking yourself, how can we keep as many people alive as possible? We don't want war. We don't want violence. We want people happy and free. And, how do we do that? We've talked about something in game theory where we had 3 phases. And the first phase, talking about Gaza, was get to cease fire. Phase 2 was exchange of hostages. And then Hamas would go to a host country. And then the third phase was that we would see the rebuild of Gaza. We also talked about a 4th phase in order to make sure that this never happens again. And the 4th phase was removing Putin from power. And that was because the data suggested that Putin was really probably one of the most dangerous people on the planet. Now, there are other arguments. There are arguments that his replacement would be worse than he is. This is why some people say not so fast, we shouldn't remove Putin, because Putin is actually pretty center compared to some of the more strident people that are in the Kremlin leadership. So what we're seeing right now is we're seeing Donald Trump deviating from the 5 phases. Because phase 4 was to isolate Putin and to remove him, and phase 5 was the dismantling of Iranian leadership. This was something that was talked about quite a bit, that when you look at game theory, you're trying to prevent people from dying. There's really no other way to get around it. You have, you can try and negotiate with certain people. You can try and get along with people. But the bottom line is that if somebody is a threat to the outside world, if somebody is arch enemy number 1, if somebody has access to nuclear weapons and is threatening to use them, then most people would argue that that's somebody that needs to be removed from the general public. I think I have it here somewhere. Is this it? Was this the 3 phases? I apologize, 5 phases. But basically, that's what we're looking at right now, and that has me nervous, is we have Donald Trump playing with the 4th phase and trying to establish normal relations with Putin. That makes no sense to me because Putin is bankrupted. Putin's government is bankrupted. We're not talking about Putin the individual. We know Putin the individual is a thief. We're talking about his government, his army, his military. They're bankrupted. It's 100% of their money going towards the war. And we know that he has threatened the West with nuclear weapons. And that he's working with North Korea. why would you do a deal with the enemy? And he's also supplying weapons to, and vice versa. Iran is supplying weapons to Russia. He's also somebody who probably, Putin, helped plan October 7th massacre of Israelis. So when you look at the data objectively, if you're just asking somebody to do game theory, why would you deviate on phase 4 and protect Putin? It makes no sense, just in terms of game theory. All right, so let's do the impasse prayer. We'll go in and we'll take a look. We'll start with a major arcana. Actually, we'll go ahead and we'll do a blitz. And I just want to see what is going on from Trump's perspective and why this is happening. All right, let's do the impasse prayer. Okay, I'm going to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together collectively we say, Amen. Let's go in and let's take a look. First, I want to get an understanding of where Trump is at. We'll do 4 cards. These cards feel so strange. I just opened them. They're new. All right, so Trump is hanging something up. So we know a lot is going on. For example, they're now starting to dismantle our nuclear program. That's not a bad idea, but we don't want to fire people that protect our nuclear arsenal from damage. And we want to make sure that we've got defenses up and ways of protecting ourselves before we do that. But so Trump is letting a lot of stuff go. We're dismantling a lot of stuff, programs that were expensive, they were outdated, like our nuke program. We hadn't used those nukes since 1945. Keeping them up and running and functional was costing us billions. So this was a bipartisan thing, you know, more left than right, actually. So a lot of stuff is getting dumped, a lot of outdated forms of, now they've hit the Pentagon. So anything that we haven't used since the 1970s, it's tough. And if it's just costing us billions to keep them up and running, we're letting it go. So this is a hang up kind of a presidency. Anything that does not serve us, it's going. The opposition is trying to reach across the aisle, the Bernie Sanders, okay, so if we're going to denuke, let's do it properly. If we're going to denuke, let's do it properly. But you can see this 2 of Cups coming in. There's a lot more cooperation this time around than in the previous administration, in the sense that you've got a lot more Democrats that really want to see us denuke. They really want to see this threat come to an end. And there are some independents that like Robert Kennedy Jr. and his stance on overpricing of pharmaceuticals, over-medicating of Americans. So we're seeing more, whether you agree or not. How we feel is not what this conversation is about. We're talking about the fact that this time around, this president has far more bipartisan support and far more Democrats reaching across the aisle, Silicon Valley funding them, etc. The hope and the fear of Trump, the honeymoon will be over. This is a honeymoon period. Also, April is coming, and I don't know when he completes his first 100 days, but something is happening around April time. And then the final outcome for Trump is grief over what he has lost, in the sense that he may not be able to fulfill all of his obligations to people. It takes cooperation from others. And there's hanging up and death over Trump in the next couple of weeks. These are 2 major arcana cards, and it would mean that he's letting go of some major things. Some major things are being let go by Donald Trump. And the opposition, He is going to be having legal problems because the opposition is going to come in and the judges are going to come in and stop him. And this is because we have a solid constitution, whether we want to believe it or not. We have three branches of government. We have the legislative and the judicial controlling the executive. And that's what we see here. We see some cooperation. Okay, if you're going to denuke, do it right. Let's make sure we have shields and ways of defending ourselves beforehand. Let's make sure we do this responsibly. You got that great Two of Cups, but you also have judgment. So we're going to be able to come in and control for any kind of erratic. I like the fact that we are seeing balance here. This is balance, and that we have to trust our Constitution and the wisdom of the founding mothers and fathers. John and Abigail knew what they were doing, and everybody else, right? Because the judges are solid here. The judges are solid here. His hope and his fear, believe it or not, it's bipartisanship. New government contracts are going to be coming in around spring, and the government is going to be releasing massive amounts of money to new green projects that were initially started by the Democrats, and now Trump wants credit for it because this is the green coming in around April. So they're like releasing, we have all this extra money now from denuking and all this other stuff. It's going to go to green construction. I want to repeat that so that people understand what's happening here. The money that's being saved by denuking, cooperation with this administration, control him legally so he doesn't do anything that's above his rights as a president. But if we can do more of this cooperation here, controlled by the judges, denuking, getting rid of too much control by pharmaceuticals. These are things that the left, I'm a lefty, I'm a naturopathic doctor, right? I want to see us denuke. I want to see us start integrating naturopathic medicine. These are things that I can support RFK Jr. on, right? So we're going to start, but I also support vaccination, right? Because I know how to look at data, right? The point is this is cooperation here, Two of Cups, but there's judgment here. He's going to have to give up some of his control. Hopes and fears, like I said, by April, I'm seeing this wonderful money card coming in, and I'm seeing new contracts for the new green economy. And then the final outcome is Trump will be taken out. I'm sorry. I know people that watch this channel that do like Trump, and I'm trying to be more neutral because I think that makes me a better reader. But I have to read the cards, honestly. And if people look at these cards objectively, these are Trump's cards, it does not bode well for him. And there's this energy we see around the time of April. And I would invite anybody who's a reader, not, Republican or Democratic reader, this is the 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th house of a Celtic cross if you do a blitz, right? So the 7th is your immediate environment. The 8th is the environment of the person you're having opposition with, the hope and the fear and the final outcome. So you can see in the next couple of weeks, we've got this energy of Trump just having to let everything, it looks like he's leaving the presidency. I'm sorry, but that's what the cards say. And then this power coming from his opposition where they're trying to work with him, but he's also being controlled by the judges. The judges are coming. And then look, April comes and this beautiful new green economy, but I'm telling you, this man will be betrayed by his own. I'm telling you, if you voted for Trump, don't trust Elon Musk, because Elon Musk, I would not be surprised once he's done using this guy, he'll dump him and he'll bring in Peter Thiel. He and Peter Thiel will come in and they'll bring JD Vance in because that's who they wanted. They never wanted Trump. The only reason they paid off Trump's debts. And or something, because it keeps saying the same thing over and over and over again, that something is going to happen with Trump, that he's going to be betrayed, and that it's this Four of Wands. I read wands as months, and there's, yeah. Yeah. Well, let's take a look and see now at Putin and see how Putin is doing. I'm very nervous because phase 4, we're supposed to isolate and take out Putin. You know, we were on a trajectory where literally NATO was going to march on Moscow if he didn't do something. And now he's being invited to the White House. So it definitely deviates from the data. Let's take a look and see what's going on with Putin. And if you haven't had a chance to like and subscribe to the channel, I'd be really appreciative. Thank you so much. Putin. Hanging it up, same thing. What the hell is going on? In April, something happens in April. The opposition against Putin is very patient. A heavy load lays ahead for Putin. It's bad news. This is Putin's first house. He's hanging everything up. His opposition is patient. They are slowly taking him out. This is like Britain, MI6, Ukraine. Hopes and fears that he has a heavy load, carrying his heavy. Look at this tower comes. This is like the destruction of Moscow. This is a crash of the entire economy. Something major is coming that could likely take out Putin. Let me see if I can get a timeline for it. Hanging it up, the world. You know, this is a guy who maybe wanted to take over the world, and now he sees Zelensky as a thief. He thinks Zelensky stole. Same outcome as Trump. They have the same cards. Hanging it up. He and Trump will have to hang up their dreams, and they both wind up betrayed by their own. I'm telling you, Putin is going to be taken out by his own people. A heavy load. And I'm telling you something else about Putin. This guy has a drug problem or something. There's this addiction, and it's like a method. It's like he was shooting up and Prigozhin was helping him or something. But look at this tower, and 10 of Swords is moving in as the final outcome for Putin. And look at his opposition. Is a thief who stole his stuff. He perceives of Zelensky and the West as thieves, stealing what rightly belongs to Russia. This will bode very badly for Putin, and I see an end for him. I'll tell you something else also. There is so much evidence that the Israelis have that Putin choreographed with Hamas the October 7th massacre on his birthday, that he wanted a Jewish pogrom, which is what they would do for the Tsar in ancient times. They would go into the village, rape and pillage, and all the horrible things you saw on October 7th was something that was very common going into Jewish villages, Christmas, Easter, the Tsar's birthday. And so this was something that had Putin's hands all over it, not just Hamas and Iran, which are allies. I'd like to take a look at Erdogan, because Turkey is in NATO, but Turkey is not really. Erdogan is kind of playing both sides. You know, he has hosted Hamas. Yeah. Let's take a look at Erdogan. Good to see you all. Even if it is virtually, darlings. And then I'll take you outside and I'll show you Puerto. I'll take you out to the veranda. Okay. Let's see here. Erdogan. Refusing to listen, intolerable. Nope. Israel committed genocide. Nope. I will not. This is a guy who has very specific ideas about things, 2 of Swords, and he will not deviate from that. The opposition, death. There's a major change happening with his opposition. His opposition would be Israel. His opposition would be, yeah, so there's major changes going on in Israel. Hopes and fears, justice. Interesting. Final outcome for him, he's going to have to bow to NATO. In the end, Erdogan will bow to NATO. He will split, even though he had Turkish Stream, which was supposed to be a deal with Russia. This Two of Cups is quite auspicious, I would say. In terms of his intolerance, he wants to control part of Syria with Israel, so which would not be entirely bad, but Six of Cups, yeah, he's coming back to NATO. The Ottoman Empire, my friends, the Ottoman Empire, it stretched all the way to what is now Iran, didn't it? That great Ottoman Empire. It was Palestine, Iran, and the Turks came in and they taxed. That's how they became wealthy. It took over all that area under Turkey. And then the Ottoman Empire fell in the first century, and Britain took over. But you can see these beautiful energy coming in for the future of Turkey with this nice Two of Cups and this Six of Cups coming back to what they loved. And also very positive in terms of the opposition, Eight of Wands, and happens very quickly, strife, death, transformation, hopes and fears, justice. But this is very auspicious. And so I think that we're going to be seeing a strengthening of alliances in the future between, I think it's probably because of Syria, and we may be able to work out a deal where because they are part of NATO, they'll be able to monitor. But it's, I'm glad that the world is coming together to try and create peace. Okay, I'm just going to look now at the future of Gaza. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Hamas leave the area, and we're going to see the international community come in and rebuild. And I think it's going to be a beautiful rebuild. I've got a feeling deep inside. Yeah, I'm optimistic. All right, Gaza. Justice will come to Gaza. Justice is over Gaza. It is inexcusable what men do. Declaring war, invading this country, invading that country, October 7th, putting children at risk. War, the majority of victims of war are women and children. When men have problems because of whatever, I'm going to fight for my honor. I think that we should have if we build an oasis in Gaza, I was thinking what we have to do in Gaza when we build our oasis of peace is we have to have we have to have a gym with a boxing area so that you guys want to fight it out. You boys want to fight it out. Put on your gloves, put on your helmet so you don't hurt your head, and you have a ref in there, and you guys can go work it out. And then we women and children in the oasis who are Palestinian, Jewish, we can just sit and make hummus and, braid our kids' hair and live our peaceful life. You boys can go and do whatever. I think that's what we should do. Or you could have soccer teams or something. But violence that hurts everybody, violence, using children as human shields, right? Find another way to work out your issues. But we see justice coming, and the opposition is confusion. Any opposition to justice in Gaza will be because people are mentally ill, confused, or they have disinformation, right? People who kill because they think, I am avenging my father, or whatever irrational justification, or maybe they believe that God told them to blow themselves up, right? So Seven of Cups is to be delusional. So the opposition to justice in Gaza is there are a lot of people who are delusional. And the hope and the fear over Gaza is Two of Cups. Can we all just get along? And then the future of Gaza is a new contract, Oasis, Phase 3, the Three of Pentacles. I got a feeling Feeling deep inside, oh no. Mm-hmm. Ooh, in the train. Oh no. Yes. All right. A new beginning. Ten of Pentacles, a new legacy for Gaza. Family legacy. The opposition is war. Ace of Wands. Male ego, the masculine symbol of war. Picking up a stick and hitting people. Fighting. Masculinity, my way or the highway, and the hope and the fear, Two of Cups and God's presence, higher ethos, and the final outcome is a new contract, but there will be fighting, exchange of ideas, but ultimately Five of Wands is not destructive because it's intellectual. So we will see an intellectual exchange of ideas and arguing over the new rebuild. Everybody wants a piece of that pie. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you, my loves, for hanging with me. If you're trying to get in for a reading with me, I'll be back on Friday. Be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out, and we'll see you next time. Let me take you outside and I'll show you Puerto Vallarta. Come along, children. Have you been a good boy? Have you been a good girl? All right. There you go. I'm in paradise. I wish you were here with me. And yeah, thanks for your support. Bye, everybody.